it can be tricky, and I try to set the tone from the very beginning, saying we're going to go there. We're going to talk about these things, and we're going to do it respectfully, and we're going to ask questions that are difficult to ask, because that's what you do as a journalist. You always show respect, but you're often asking tough questions. And to begin by modeling that in the classroom can be really helpful to students once they get in the field. It feels kind of more normal for them to ask something that is sensitive or kind of a taboo topic. So we start by setting that tone in the classroom. This is a safe place, and we're going to talk about it here. And it can be tough sometimes. It can be uncomfortable a lot of times. I go back to what Keith Woods, formerly of the Poynter Institute, taught me when I was at a seminar there. And he just said, everybody needs to stay in the room. And we just have to keep talking this through. I think too often what's modeled for our students are people shouting at one another, either separately or, never reaching a consensus. And not that they have to agree on everything, but that they can learn to come to a point of mutual respect. And it's a process. It's a messy process sometimes, but and as a professor, it's a little scary to wade into those waters sometimes, but it's always worth it. Sometimes students say things, and I know that what has been said is going to get a strong reaction from other members of the class, and I do my best to first check in with that student by saying, say a little more what you mean by that, or can you give an example of that? And I'm not asking the student to change their perspective or take back what they said. I'm asking them to be specific about their statements. And I find that helps diffuse tension a little bit and gives us a starting point for conversation. A lot of the difficult, unproductive questions about diversity begin with broad generalizations. And so if we can get at specifically, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And let's look at why you think that, and does anybody else have a different point of view to offer? If you can set a tone of civility, I find that the students pick up on that, and they seek to maintain it too, because oftentimes these are issues they really want to talk about and have never had the opportunity to. So, okay, now let's explore that. Why is that? What's going on with that? I have to always be aware in my position as a professor that I'm in a position of power, and I do everything from trying to sit down so that I'm not, the sage on the stage or whatever, but I always recognize that students may be intimidated to push back because I am the person in the position of power. I get that, and there's nothing I can do to shift it. So sometimes if things are getting particularly tense, I'll have students write things down on a piece of paper kind of anonymously, and we'll examine the various things that are said just to take that element of judgment out of it. Here are things people are feeling. In one of my courses, in the specific diversity course that I teach, I've added an online component where I have the students do a brief reading, and then they each respond to the comment, and then they respond to one another. And I have found this helps improve the tone and the dialogue in the class because students aren't on the spot. They have some time to be thoughtful about how they're responding in writing. They say things often that are a little bit bolder even, but in really respectful ways, and that does then carry over into the classroom conversation. So sometimes using that online environment, and they're not anonymous online, they are tied to the students' names, so we know who's posting what, but allowing them to explore those ideas there and be brave and choose their words so that they sound the way they want to sound, and have some time to be thoughtful about their responses is just a different platform, but it can, I think, help students feel more comfortable when we're having the in-class discussions where you're saying something and everybody's staring at you. I mean, we're human beings. That's uncomfortable, and I applaud the students who are brave in sharing their opinions.